Okay, good morning. So we're up to Reish Samach Aleph. We're halfway through Sif Aleph. Now, what we discussed yesterday was that if Shkia comes, we're now at the beginning of Ben Hashmoshes. It's Sofik Hashecha, it's Sofik night time on Friday night. So then you can't do lots of things because it's Sofik Laila, it's a Sofik of Shabbos after Shkia, and therefore Ein Maisrin es Havada, you can't take Maisa, Ve'ein Matbinim es Hakelim, Ve'ein Madlikin es Haneris, and you can't light Shabbos candles. Now, we stopped halfway through the Sif Aleph. We'll pick up halfway through, which is the second line in my one, on page 64, halfway through the Sif. What you can do is you can tell a non-Jewish person to light. So in other words, let's say Shkia at the moment is about 8:40, yeah, and you're running very late, you're traveling, you're going to a holiday cottage, and you're going to the Lake District, and by the time you get there, it's already Shkia, or whatever, you unpack and whatever, and then it's before you know it, it's after Shkia. So you can't light candles, but you can tell a non-Jewish person to light the candles for you. That's what it's saying. And you can actually tell them to do other things, which is a mitzvah. For example, I don't know, put the urn on, or you want to put the food on the hot plates or whatever it may be. Or for something which you're very torrid and hassled about. So too, if you're Mekabel Shabbos an hour or two before it gets dark, in other words, well before actual Shabbos, as it were, you're allowed to tell a non-Jewish person to light the candles and to do other things that you need. Okay, let's see the details.
Is there an Indian to ask a girl to do?
No, to light Shabbos candles. Yeah, they usually have Shabbos candles.
If you don't, it's a punishment.
Yeah, there could be a knas. Yeah. Yud Gimel. Sif Katan Yud Gimel says the Mishnah Berurah, Lo Malein Yehudi, Da'amir Lein Yehudi Bichlal Shvus. What is the whole prohibition of asking a non-Jewish person to do something for you is itself a drabanon. V'lo yigazru al shvus ben hashmoshes letzorech mitzvah. And Chazal were not geyser during ben hashmoshes, right? Let's be clear. We're only talking about ben hashmoshes. We're not talking about when it's night properly. Just ben hashmoshes. And for ben hashmoshes, they were not geyser for a tzorech mitzvah. If you look at this, is so let's say on Friday after Tisha B'Av, people are away, they're travelled, they get to their destination quite late, and it's already, they're unpacked, and they suddenly look at their watch, and it's after Shkia. So you can't light candles. We've seen that very clearly. So you can tell a non-Jewish person to light the candles. Someone said yesterday, do you make a bracha?
No.
Right? No. So take a look at the second paragraph in number 10, in footnote 10, the second paragraph. The Isha Shelod Likaneris, V'hoini Yehudi Madlik Bavura, and the non-Jewish lady is lighting on her behalf, or man or whoever, but Ben Hashmoshes, Kosovo Lekaman in Reish Samach Gimel Sif Katan Chaf Aleph, Shevadai Ein Yachol Levorach Al Kach. For sure, she doesn't make a bracha, given she ain't shlichus legai, because there's no concept of shlichus for this non-Jewish person. V'oid, and furthermore, shafilu shliach hamadlik avo chaver. Even if you ask another Jewish person to do it in a normal situation for whatever reason, hashliach mevorach v'lo mishaleach. It's the shliach who makes the bracha. And therefore, certainly over here, the Isha, the Mishaleach, is not going to make the bracha. Good. 14, Ben Hashmoshes, HaMachaber Ozel L'Shitosei. The Machaber goes according to his reasoning over here, the Sfir Leila Kavan B'Simen Shin Zayin Sif Hei, the B'Shabbos Kufa Osal Zein Yehudi B'Melocha D'Raisa, Afilim L'Tzorech Shabbos. If it's Shabbos proper, it's night outside, then for sure you can't tell the non-Jewish person to do this. For Ein Lekam B'Simen Reisha involved, B'Sif Beis B'Hago. So that will get to Mitzshem. But what we taught, the whole heter here to ask the non-Jewish person to light the candles for you is Dafka Ben Hashmoshes, which is a Sofik Laila, not Vada Laila. And when are you allowed to do that? Only L'Tzorech Mitzvah. Af, says Mishnah Berurah Tesvav, Af she'einenu b'shvil Shabbos, even if it might not necessarily be for Shabbos. It can be another mitzvah. He'll give examples, I think. For Nech B'Zoleho, Kosav Rishal, Hainu Kol Dovashim, Lo Yeh Nasehu, or Mitzvah B'Shabbos. He quotes now the Marshal, that the Marshal says, what's the Geder? Anything that if it's not done, you're going to be very troubled by. whatever it may be. You want the air conditioning on, or whatever, something like that. Shari lasis al dein Yehudi ben hashmoshes. Av libi noikef lahachmir. This is again quoting the Marshal. Says the Marshal, I'm noitel to be machmir im ein loy bohem shum tzorich b'Shabbos rak tzorchol. If there's no tzorich Shabbos at all, and it's only a weekday reason, achim hu hefsed merubah l'tzorich gadol. Shari, it's got to be something more significant. For example, a hefsed merubah or tzorich gadol. Then we allow shvusin b'bein hashmoshes. We prat shvus tamir lein Yehudi to les b'maisa. V'alkein mutzalem lein Yehudi ben hashmoshes l'hadik near yard sites. For example, it's a mitzvah, but it's not a Shabbos need to have a yahrzeit candle. That's considered the tzorich gadol because people light yahrzeit candles. Okay, so that's the machaba. And then the Ramah talks about a case where you makabel Shabbos early. For example, here in the summer, we makabel Shabbos, a good couple of hours before it gets dark. So then you can again tell the Ein Yehudi to light the candles or other things which are needed. It says in the Mishnah Berurah Yud Zayin, Dafka shoy shtayim, avol chatzi shah samach lechashecha. But if it's much closer to night, to oz efshad the b'chol makom is Yisrael kibbel alein Shabbos, when all other communities have already been makabel Shabbos, chamir tfei, then it's more strict. Va'osa afilu lo malen Yehudi sheyasim melacha miu letzarech mitzvah shari. Va'afilu mashe poisek hamachaba lekam b'sif dalet va'acha kabbalah Shabbos osa lavar afilu al shvus mokem mitzvah. When you've been makabel Shabbos, even a shvus mokem mitzvah you can't be over. With regard to instructing a non-Jewish person, asking a non-Jewish person to do it, ben hashmoshes we allow it. Lo malen Yehudi lahadlik. Afilu shlem mokem mitzvah. The kiven she'oit hayom gadol, since it's still daylight. Bevada yesh makom shadayin lo kibla aleim Shabbos. There are certainly people who have not yet been makabel Shabbos. I sometimes have that Friday night. I'm walking back from shul, and my Chabad neighbors, it's still Friday afternoon for them. They're still got plenty of time. For Oisim ba'asim melacha. Tlai lonu b'masha al yidei ha'kabbalah nishbeis ba'atzmein melacha. Good. V'da. Dibinyoneinu. Irina shat tzibur shebeiru kibla aleim Shabbos. We're talking about where the tzibur of the makabel Shabbos. V'chol kedusha Shabbos bal karchai. And it happens automatically. Afilu im echad lo yiris l'kal. If one guy chooses not to, that's his choice. V'alkein kozulim alein Yehudi. U'mitam hanal. Aval beyochid shekibla aleim Shabbos muta afilu lem l'yisroch haveirei sheyasin lemelacha. But if I want to bring in Shabbos early and everyone else has not been makabel Shabbos, I can actually tell another Jewish person to do it for me. And that's going to come up in Chud L'Kam Siman Reish Samach Gimel Sif Yudayin Ein Shom Hatam Mishnah Berurah. So in short, what we said here in Reish Samach Aleph Aleph is that once it's Sofek Chashecha, which means that it's Shkia, then you can't do any melacha. And whether it's even for mitzvah purposes, Ein Ma'aisrus Havadai, Ein Matbinim Esakelim, Ein Madlikin Esaneirus. However, what you are allowed to do is to tell a non-Jewish person to do it for you, but Dafka Ben Hashmoshes, not after Nacht. Okay.